After making the travel plan, Mickey said that his sponsored little sister had just turned 18, and he was going to take her on a trip during Labor Day. Karen is really scared of you. I don't want her to have a bad experience on her very first trip. The implication was clear, I couldn't go with them. I continued packing my luggage. Coincidentally, the boy I sponsored had also just turned 18. Later, while I was with the boy I brought along, and Mickey was with the girl he brought, we bumped into each other at a guest house. Mickey couldn't take it anymore and demanded, "Who is he?" I replied, "He's just my brother. Don't raise your voice, my brother is scared." Chapter 1. I ended my business trip early without telling Mickey. Walking home in the drizzle, I thought of surprising him. The moment I opened the door, the lively yet unfamiliar scene made me pause. There was a birthday cake on the table, and the whole place was filled with strangers, young people looking curiously at me. A young girl in a red backless dress caught my eyes. She looked at me innocently and asked, "Who are you?" She was wearing the dress Mickey had custom-made for me a few months ago. It had just been delivered today. I had planned to wear it tonight. Suppressing my discomfort, I frowned and asked, "Where's Mickey?" The girl blinked. "Mickey brother is on the balcony making a call. Are you the cleaning lady? My birthday party isn't over yet. Could you come back in 2 hours to clean?" Cleaning lady? I almost laughed in anger. Compared to this girl with her flawless makeup, I did look worn out. I had been away on a week-long business trip. Just yesterday Mickey called me, saying he missed me so much. For Mickey, I compressed 3 days of work, caught a late-night flight, and dragged my exhausted body back. What greeted me was a strange girl, wearing the dress I had long anticipated, hosting a birthday party in my home like she was the hostess. At that moment, Mickey walked in from the balcony, phone in hand. Seeing me, he looked slightly surprised. "Virginia, why did you come back early?" I stared at him for a while, then sneered, "I came back to play cleaning lady for you." But inside, my heart sank to the bottom. We'd been in love for 3 years. Nobody knew Mickey better than I did. Sharp taste, proud temper, hated crowds. Except for important business banquets, he never took part in meaningless social events. His friends had to go through me if they wanted to invite him. I coaxed him, agreeing to some ridiculous requests like wearing cat ears or bunny ears, just so Mickey would go. He didn't have the usual bad habits of rich second-generation heirs. All these years, besides me, there had never been another ambiguous woman around him. People in our circle often teased him, saying he was afraid of his girlfriend. Mickey never denied it. His friends all said Mickey loved me so much that without me, he'd be lost. I believed it too. But now, Mickey, who hated crowds, had prepared a party at our home for a strange girl, and I realized it before Mickey did. Why get mad over a kid? Mickey walked over, took my suitcase, and turned to the girl. "This is my girlfriend, Virginia." The girl froze for a second, then quickly smiled sweetly, looking cute and innocent. She said apologetically, "So you're Miss Virginia?" "My name is Karen. I'm Mickey's little sister. I just came to the city for college this year." I ignored Karen and sharply questioned Mickey. Who allowed her to wear my dress? Anyone who didn't know better would think she was the hostess here. I kicked my suitcase in frustration. "And look at the mess in this house. You know I'm a clean freak. I can't stand strangers using our things." Maybe my words were too harsh, because Mickey frowned. Before he could speak, Karen hurriedly explained in a flustered tone, "Miss Virginia, please don't blame Mickey brother. Today is my 18th birthday. Mickey brother wanted to celebrate for me, but I was afraid of spending too much money outside. So I suggested doing it here at home. Don't worry, we'll clean everything up when it's over." Her face turned red, looking as if she was about to cry. "I didn't mean to wear your dress either. My family isn't well off. I don't have any decent clothes. Mickey brother only let me borrow this one. If Miss Virginia minds, I'll take it off right now, as long as you don't fight with Mickey brother." If I actually let her take it off now, it would make me look like the unreasonable one, trying to play the innocent coquette with me. Fine, then take it off, right now. Karen clearly hadn't expected me to be so blunt. She froze, then glanced at Mickey for help. Mickey gave no response. She bit her lip, reached for the zipper on the dress. One of Karen's friends muttered just loud enough, Seriously? It's just a dress. Why be so unforgiving? Isn't this humiliating her? I turned to the girl who spoke. Then you buy it for her. 1,240,000 yuan. I'll even round it down for you. Just 1,200,000. The girl snapped back. Flustered. Karen, didn't you say your brother treats you well? You're being humiliated like this, and he's not even speaking up for you? Mickey rubbed his temples, his expression darkening. Virginia, must you really do this? I was the one who told her to wear it. If you're angry, take it out on me. Don't make things hard for a young girl. My whole body went cold, though my eyes burned hot. Mickey, are you saying I'm the one being unreasonable? All these years, I could count on one hand the times I teared up in front of Mickey, seeing me with red eyes. Mickey panicked. He pulled my head to his chest and murmured hoarsely, "Don't cry." As if admitting defeat, he whispered, "It's my fault." Then, in a cold tone to Karen, "Go to the bathroom, take off the dress, and have the driver send you and your friends back to school." Chapter 2. Mickey carried me upstairs, helped me bathe and change clothes, and coaxed me for a long while, but I still felt uneasy. So I said, "You should stay away from that Karen. I think she likes you." Jealous girl. Mickey wrapped his arm around my waist, pulling me closer into his embrace. "You're jealous of a kid too?" I rolled my eyes. "She's 18, still a kid?" I narrowed my eyes, pretending to grab his throat. "Mickey, are you disobeying me now?" Mickey smiled indulgently. Would I dare? Right in front of me, he deleted Karen's WeChat and joked, "Spare me, wife. I thought the matter was settled. I had plenty to deal with. Not worth holding a grudge against a little girl for so long." But a week later, Karen updated her Instagram. She posted a picture wearing a luxury brand dress, the pure white fabric outlining her slim, curvy figure. "My darling said, be your own lily, not someone else's rose. The dress fits perfectly. Thank you, darling, for the gift. I'll work hard to bloom for you." My best friend Clara's messages exploded on my screen. "Virginia, what is going on? Last week Mickey bid a sky-high price for this dress. I thought it was for you. How come it's on someone else? No wonder I said the measurements didn't match. I even thought your chest shrank. Also, who the hell is this Karen?" My hands shook with anger. I almost smashed my phone. Last time, I forced Karen to take off my dress, and right after that, Mickey bought her an even more expensive one. That was a slap in my face. What made it worse was Karen's classmates tagging me in the comments section to mock me. "Who wants your dress? The one President Mickey bought for Karen is way more expensive than yours." And then they deleted it right away. At first, I didn't want to bother with this group of students, but now they're shitting right on top of my head. If I can still endure that, then I'm nothing but a clay figure. As it happened, the university Karen attended was also my alma mater, and even the same major as mine. 3 years ago, I had donated a scholarship to the college in my personal name. Karen's grades were average, but her family was poor enough that she was one of the recipients. Every year, as an outstanding alumna, I was invited back to give lectures. In the past, I never went. This year, I accepted. I used that very haute couture white dress as a case study, explaining in detail the fabric, design concept, and its latest auction price. Chapter 3. A bold student asked Karen, "Karen, this dress looks exactly the same as the one you posted on Instagram. If your family is so rich, why are you still taking scholarship money?" Karen's face flushed red with embarrassment. She stammered, "That one, mine was fake." But a student from the inner circle sneered. "Fake? Who doesn't know President Mickey just bid on this dress the other day? And the very next day, you were wearing it. You even shamelessly thanked your brother on Instagram. Now you're saying it's fake?" Karen couldn't hold her composure after being ridiculed. "That was a birthday gift from my brother. I didn't know it was so expensive." Still calling him brother? Aren't you disgusting? President Mickey already has a girlfriend. Why would he buy you such an expensive dress? If you're being kept, fine, but stop stealing scholarships that Virginia created for hardworking poor students. It's not for cheap, pretentious, coquette bitches like you. The entire hall buzzed with whispers. Karen bit her lip, glanced at me, then ran backstage with teary eyes. With stubborn defiance, She said. Miss Virginia, if you want that dress, I can give it to you. The implication being, I was the one making things hard for her. I lifted my eyes and glanced at her lightly. If your brother gave it to you, then wear it. I don't lack a dress like that. And besides, I've never wanted anyone's second-hand goods. Someone in the crowd whispered. The mistress is even challenging the main girlfriend now. Who wants her things? And she's offering? Anyone who didn't know better would think she's the real girlfriend. Karen's face alternated between red and pale. She finally burst out. I'll return the dress. Then she ran off in tears. I continued flipping through the scholarship list the school had given me and said to the coordinating teacher, please double check. I want the scholarship to go to those who truly need it. Not long after Karen left, Mickey called. The first thing he did was question me. Do you really have to go against a young girl like this? I've already minimized contact with her. What more do you want? His voice carried suppressed anger. Karen has been under my sponsorship since childhood. I watched her go to college. She doesn't have decent clothes. Can't I buy her a dress? Virginia, can't you change your overbearing temper? Karen has been bullied by you so badly that she doesn't even want to attend school anymore. You've gone too far. You should apologize to her. My heart hurt with rage. I screamed into the phone. Get lost. Go live with your precious little sister. You idiot. Before Mickey could react, I hung up, quickly wiping away my tears. Crying twice over a man is enough. Any more, and I'd have no dignity left. Clara, seeing I was upset, poured me more drinks while cursing Mickey in every possible way. The more furiously she cursed, the more I drank until the stars swam before my eyes. Clara raised her hand dramatically. Out with the old, in with the new. If that dog Mickey can find himself a little sister, then we can find you a handsome little brother. She pulled over a waiter who was serving drinks and asked me, how about this boy? I squinted, trying hard to lift my head to look at him. His eyes and hair were dark, his skin pale, giving him a cold but obedient look. Most importantly, he was handsome, even more handsome than Mickey. I told the truth. This one's good. Clara grinned like a madam in charge. Then let little brother take you home. Shall we? I nodded. Sure. Chapter 4. The next morning, I woke up with a splitting headache, rubbing my temples. I sat up, dazed by the unfamiliar surroundings. When I turned my head, I saw a shirtless handsome guy lying on the sofa. Broad shoulders, narrow waist, a perfect inverted triangle. So handsome, so fair, so big. Just looking at him refreshed me. As I stared in a daze, the handsome guy woke up. He gazed blankly at the ceiling for a while, then turned and caught my eyes exactly. His fair skin flushed pink. It could change colors, cuter than ever. I pulled the blanket off myself, glanced down, then raised my head to ask him, did we sleep together? The handsome guy turned from pink to a deep red. No, I'm naked. I pointed out righteously, staring straight at his chest muscles. You're naked too. A reasonable doubt. If we didn't sleep together, why are we both naked? He replied, you vomited. I washed your clothes, but they're not dry yet. He stood up, pulled his half-damp shirt off the hanger, and quickly put it on. I'll go buy you something to wear. The wet fabric clung to his chest muscles, showing their full curve. Honestly, wearing it looked more indecent than not wearing it. Then he left the room. I grabbed my phone and called Clara. I'm at a hotel. There's a handsome guy in the room. Clara asked. Strong? I don't know. Doesn't seem like I tried. Clara scolded me for being useless. Try it already. I asked around. That boy is from your alma mater too. The star of the physics department. Poor family but determined. Hardworking. And already published 2 SCI papers in just his sophomore year. Isn't this exactly your type, the smart, studious kind? I pinched my fingertips and asked. What's his name? Taylor. The name sounded familiar. Where had I heard it before? Hearing footsteps outside, I quickly hung up. Taylor put a paper bag by the bed. I bought it one size up. Should fit. I glanced at the bag. It was the brand I usually wore. Not haute couture, but pricey enough. For me, it was nothing. But for Taylor? Not necessarily. Clara said his family was poor, that he worked part-time as a waiter at the club in addition to studying hard. That meant extremely poor, and the cheapest set from this brand cost several thousand yuan. I flipped through the clothes. Good lord, he hadn't even picked the cheapest ones. I knew roughly how much waiters at that club earned. This outfit probably cost him a month's salary. So generous? I hooked a finger under the red dress inside and lifted my eyes at him. How did you know my size? Taylor froze. Swallowed. You said it yesterday at the lecture. I had used myself as an example. But, you were at the lecture too? Are you also studying fashion design? Taylor opened his mouth, hesitated, then said, yes. I arched a brow. If I hadn't known ahead of time, I wouldn't have been able to tell he was lying. Not a flicker of guilt on his face. This boy only looked obedient. His thoughts were anything but. When I lifted the blanket to change clothes, Taylor abruptly turned his back, standing ramrod straight. I'll just go. I stared at his flushed neck and asked, not even going to add me on WeChat? Taylor froze, then obediently stood there, back to me, until I finished dressing and added him. We went out for a meal, and I dropped him back at his school. Before getting out, Taylor asked, if I have professional questions in the future, can I come to you, senior? I put down my phone and glanced at him. A physics major. What kind of advanced fashion design questions could he possibly have for me? I held back my laugh and played along. Of course. Only then did Taylor move to get out. But as he opened the door, I asked lazily, that cut on your lip, was it from me kissing you last night? Taylor's breathing quickened noticeably. So it really was a kiss. I knew myself. When I first dated Mickey, it was because I liked his ambition and his face. With Taylor's flawless, model-perfect looks, there was no way I'd been drunk out of my mind and not touched him. I expected Taylor to explain. Instead, his Adam's apple bobbed, and he muttered with a flushed neck. Sorry. Interesting. That meant last night wasn't just me being the active one. This boy, definitely not as obedient as he looked. Chapter 5. Mickey went on a business trip, but didn't tell me. After everything that had happened, I guess we both silently accepted that we'd broken up. I had someone look into Taylor and found his name on an old sponsorship list. Then I suddenly remembered the boy 4 years ago in the mountains, sitting by his grandfather's sickbed, chewing on a plain steamed bun while reading. No parents, only a sick grandfather. The teacher, holding back tears, said it was such a pity. I decided to sponsor him because I saw myself in Taylor. I had come from the same place. A child from the countryside. Parents who favored sons over daughters only wanted me to marry for money. But I refused. Under the dim yellow light of our small courtyard, I secretly read through every book I could get my hands on, just so I could leave those layered mountains. Just so I could have the power to choose my own fate. Back then, in 16-year-old Taylor's eyes, I saw that same light. Even our college experiences were similar. I had also worked part-time while studying. Like him. Always busy, missing out on so many views. Later, after graduation, I became even busier, often imagining if only I'd had today's wealth back in my college years. Staring at Taylor's profile picture for a long while, I finally tapped in and asked, do you have plans for Labor Day? I couldn't explain my feelings. Maybe it was affection. Maybe it was a desire to make up for something. He replied instantly, not yet. I want to go to Tibet. Okay. I want you to go with me. Okay. I almost laughed. Such a good boy. 2 hours later, Taylor sent me 5 PowerPoint decks of detailed 2-person travel plans. Pick whichever you like. If there's anything you don't like, I'll change it. I took screenshots of the 5 plans and sent them to him on WeChat. I want to go to all of them. What should I do? Taylor replied, I'll think of a way. Obedient. Cute. Then Mickey messaged, I've cleared my schedule for Labor Day. Damn it. Bad luck. Chapter 6. In order to go to Tibet with Taylor, I crammed all my work into the days before Labor Day. Since Mickey wasn't at home, I got so busy that I even forgot to look for an apartment. When Mickey returned from his business trip, I was sitting on the sofa, headphones on, discussing travel plans with Taylor. I only turned my head when I heard the door. Mickey changed his shoes, glanced at me, and then his eyes landed on the open travel plans on my laptop. Without much tact, he said, Karen was diagnosed with depression last week. I'd heard. Public opinion is ruthless. Someone had started a post on the school forum, accusing her of being a mistress, a kept woman, and of stealing someone else's scholarship. At such a critical moment, the school revoked Karen's scholarship spot. Unintentionally, it only fueled the fire. Karen couldn't handle it. She cut her wrists in the dorm and was sent to the hospital. After the post was deleted and the poster taken away by the police, the noise died down on campus. I had to admit, Karen was quick thinking. But really, what did that have to do with me? Mickey said, she's in a really bad state, so I'm planning to take her on a trip during Labor Day. Aw, so that's what he was leading up to? I asked casually. Just the two of you? Yes, Karen is really afraid of you. I don't want her to have a bad experience on her first trip. The implication was clear, I wasn't welcome. Otherwise, his Karen would be scared. Mickey glanced again at the travel plans on my screen, then added, if you apologize to Karen, get along with her, and take care of her emotions, then I wouldn't mind bringing you along too. I laughed angrily. How gracious of him. From my headphones, Taylor's voice chimed in. Take him to the hospital for a brain check. I know a neurologist. I raised my eyebrows, realizing only then that the call hadn't been hung up. Not wanting Taylor to hear this mess, I ended it. Then I lifted my eyes at Mickey, studied him for a moment, and asked sincerely, how did I never notice how disgusting you are when we were dating? Mickey stared in disbelief. What did you just say? I'm disgusting? Virginia, even if you're upset, there's a limit. His gaze turned cold. If you keep bristling like this, stabbing everyone around you, then we'll just have to break up. I said. Mickey, we already broke up. The moment he chose Karen's side, he stopped being worth my love. We parted badly. Mickey shouted after me, warning me not to regret it. I heard him smashing things in the living room as I left. I hugged my laptop, planning to stay in a hotel for the time being. When I opened my phone, I saw more than 30 messages from Taylor. The last one read, please call me back. I dialed. All I heard at first was Taylor's ragged breathing, mixed with noisy voices in the background. For a long time, he couldn't speak. I called out, Taylor? Virginia. His voice was hoarse, heavy with worry. Don't hang up on me without a word like that. He was really worried. I could tell. I paused, then asked, where are you? I wanted to come find you, but I couldn't get a taxi. His school's new campus was in the suburbs. At night, cabs were hard to get. So were you planning to run over here? Taylor said, wait for me. I'll come. Then he added like a promise, I run fast. Even after just coming out of one crisis, he was already trying to play games with me, but he was still young. I had the upper hand. And if I don't wait for you? Taylor was silent for a beat. Then I'll still come. I heard his quiet breath through the line. To chase you. The voice was both far and near. When I looked up, I saw Taylor across the street, holding his phone, running hard, sweat covering his forehead. He smiled at me softly and said, caught up. My heart gave a heavy thump. Younger boys were better, full of energy. 7 kilometers didn't tire them. 7 times wouldn't either. Chapter 7. When I ran into Mickey and Karen at the guest house, I cursed my bad luck in my heart. I really should have gone to a temple to pray. Mickey saw me too. He froze for a second, then walked over, his expression cold. Why did you follow us here? Karen clutched at Mickey's sleeve, hiding behind him, her voice trembling as she called, Miss Virginia. I was speechless. Was that really necessary? From the start until now, I hadn't even laid a single hand on her. Don't call me that. It's disgusting. Karen's tears immediately spilled over. Mickey couldn't hold back anymore. Virginia, enough. You came all this way just to make things hard for her? Karen is already like this because of you. Why won't you let it go? If you still want to come along with us, then apologize to Karen, and promise not to bully her during the trip. Otherwise, buy a ticket home right now. I let out a cold laugh. Open your damn eyes and check my WeChat. I had this guest house on my travel plans a month ago. Following you too? And apologizing to her? If you're mentally ill, don't bother treating it. Just go die. Will you? Do you have to be this vicious? Mickey's face darkened. He'd worn the gentleman mask for so long, yet all the disgusting things he'd done, still, he couldn't even spit out a single curse. You did something wrong. I'm just asking you to apologize. Is that really so difficult? He sounded exactly like my father, unable to tell right from wrong, arrogant in his self-righteousness, knowing nothing, yet still thinking he had the right to lecture others. Apologize for what? At that moment, Taylor came down the stairs. He placed a pink thermos cup in my hands and lowered his head. Hot water. Drink some, it'll help your stomach. I had stomach problems. This morning I'd barely eaten, and on the road my stomach started aching. I didn't say anything, but Taylor had noticed anyway. Mickey's face turned uglier, his gloomy eyes flicking between Taylor and me. Virginia. Who is he? I focused on drinking my water and ignored him. Taylor stepped slightly forward, blocking Mickey's line of sight. I'm Virginia's brother. My name is Taylor. I shot Taylor a sidelong glance. Virginia, he called it with such intimacy. Hopefully he could call it just as intimately in bed. Karen poked her head out from behind Mickey and asked innocently, Brother Taylor, are you living with Miss Virginia? Taylor glanced at her. Do I know you? Karen's face instantly turned red. She stammered. No, it's just. Brother Taylor, you're so outstanding. You're famous. Even if you don't know me, I've always taken you as my role model. Taylor frowned. Do you have a grudge against me? Karen froze, not understanding. Taylor continued. You go around saying I'm your role model. Are you trying to ruin me? I almost laughed. So Taylor wasn't as quiet as he looked. His tongue could be sharp as poison when he wanted. Karen must have noticed his attitude toward her wasn't good. She spoke in a pitiful tone. Why are you saying this to me? Did Miss Virginia tell you something about me? There are just misunderstandings between her and me. She bit her lip, hinting. She doesn't really like me. Taylor sneered. Have you ever thought about why nobody likes you? You're living in the same room with someone else's boyfriend. What kind of misunderstanding could that possibly be? That's not it. Karen hurried to explain, her voice weak, her eyes turning to me as if to strike back softly. Mickey brother stayed with me because of my illness. He was afraid something might happen to me. There's nothing between us. But brother Taylor and Miss Virginia, you two are the ones living together, aren't you? Taylor instinctively wanted to defend me. We didn't. I tugged on his hand and added quickly. Not boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. We broke up long ago. Taylor caught my hand in return, locking my fingers tightly in his palm. Then, changing his tone, he declared, Right, and we live together now. Once you know you're not the mistress, you can speak with confidence. Enough. Mickey finally lost it, the vein on his forehead throbbing. His eyes swept past Taylor and landed on me. Virginia, what kind of brother is this supposed to be? Oh, the one I sponsored. Mickey let out a cold laugh, his expression easing slightly. Ha, the one you sponsored? So because of Karen, you've gone and made up a sponsored brother just to provoke me? Virginia, grow up. Karen's illness is because of you, and I'm the one helping you clean up the mess. Why do you always have to be against me? I promise you, once Karen gets better, I won't bother with her anymore. Then we'll go back to how things used to be, all right? This fight has gone on long enough. I'm really tired. I won't force you to apologize anymore. Just stop sulking. This whole thing will blow over soon. And Taylor's grip on my hand grew tighter and tighter. His whole body was taut with tension. He was nervous. There is no we. I cut Mickey off. If I let him keep talking, Taylor might snap. Mickey, I'm not playing games with you. Taylor is real, and breaking up with you is also real. I wish you and your Karen sister eternal happiness. May the two of you be locked together forever. Scumbag and pretentious coquette, may you never re-enter the market. Chapter 8. The goal of this trip, besides clearing my head, was one more thing. To sleep with Taylor. Clara sent me 10 messages a day, each with just 3 words. Did you try? I replied, not yet. Clara, you're hopeless. Me, soon. Clara, how soon? Earliest today. Latest tomorrow. Fine. At least you've got some game. I put my phone away, cupped my pink thermos, and glanced at Taylor. He was driving, but the moment he felt my gaze he asked, "Senior, want something to eat?" I brought chocolate. Weren't you just calling me Virginia? His Adam's apple bobbed. Are you mad? I dodged the question. It rolls off your tongue so easily. How many times have you practiced in private? When exactly do you say it? I watched his eyes flicker and his face redden by degrees. Secretly amused, this guy must have been up to no good behind my back. Do you call me that in your dreams? I thought he'd deny it, but he owned up to it. He held the wheel, tilted his head to give me a sidelong look that melted my bones. How did you know? Guesswork, I said. Then, after a beat, what kind of dreams? Taylor's eyes narrowed slightly. His voice went soft. Erotic ones. Ha. He pulled into a quiet spot. We're here. I didn't move. He didn't either. In your dreams. Do you kiss me? I do. Where do you kiss me? Taylor sounded a bit helpless. Virginia, you don't want to know. If I describe everything, I'll sound like a perverted creep. You'll start to hate me. So it must be very indecent. Do we make out in your dreams? We kiss, Taylor said, gaze turning heavy. Many times. I caught that gaze and leaned into it. How do we kiss? Click. Taylor released his seatbelt. He leaned over, caging me in, tilting up my face. His eyes dropped to my lips. His lashes trembled in a hoarse murmur. Like this, a very light kiss. Too controlled. And yet something sensitive lit up in me, my heartbeat sped. Our breaths tangled. Taylor didn't pull back, and I didn't push him away. I even risked asking, "Is that all?" "Of course there are things much worse," he said, his lips brushing mine as he spoke. "The kind that would earn me a slap. Are you afraid I'll slap you?" Taylor wrapped an arm around my waist. Just before kissing me again, he said, "When you slap me, don't hold back." Since he asked, I didn't hold back, touching my swollen lips afterward. I thought, yeah, that was excessive. My lips were puffed. My tongue was too. Even so, Taylor was still restrained. He didn't strip me right there in the car. He only pushed up my top and kneaded my waist twice. Then dared not cross the line any further. I opened my phone and texted Clara. Latest, today. Clara, what? Chapter 9. At night, Taylor walked me to the door of my room, then headed toward the next one. I waited until he passed by, then hooked his waistband from behind. I didn't even use any strength, yet I caught him. I asked, "What dream are you going to have tonight?" Taylor froze for a second, exhaled slowly, clasped my wrist, turned around, and took the room card from my other hand before pushing me inside. We kissed against the door, breathing heavily. Taylor said, "A wet dream." Our clothes were already halfway off when I suddenly remembered to ask, "Virginia, do you just want one night's sleep, or a lifetime sleep?" I hooked my arms around his neck. "Make me addicted, and I'll sleep with you for a lifetime." Taylor put in a lot of effort. He kept searching for my sensitive spots. He even paid attention to my reactions, asking questions like a diligent learner. "Here? Is this strength okay? Too soft? Then what about harder?" I couldn't even finish my sentences. I had planned to teach him, but after just the beginning, he already outdid the master. Youth is terrifying. Taylor shook the sweat from his forehead and laughed. "You like it harder, do I?" It was too much. I trembled and stammered. Enough, enough." Taylor kissed my neck and asked, "Sister, am I doing well?" Good, very good." I held back a scream. "Taylor, enough. Okay. Do you want some water, sister?" I was nearly in tears, suspecting he was tormenting me on purpose. Beast! The next day's plan was scrapped. I slept until the sun was high. Taylor, refreshed and energetic, even went out for a run. I hadn't expected to run into Mickey and Karen again at lunch in the hotel. After bumping into them at the guest house, Taylor and I had switched to another hotel from our itinerary. We didn't want Labor Day ruined. Originally, this hotel was arranged for the second day, But the next day, Mickey and Karen also moved in. The coincidence was absurd. Mickey kept staring at me, so much that I lost my appetite. When Taylor came over with his tray, he tied up my hair and tugged at my collar to hide the hickey on my neck. That kind of territorial display was almost like a puppy peeing to mark its turf. I glanced at Mickey, rested my chin on my hand, and beckoned Taylor over. He obediently leaned down, and I grabbed his collar, whispering in his ear, "Why don't you just kiss me in front of him, bad boy?" Taylor chuckled and whispered back, "Can I?" I shoved him lightly. "No. Sit down and eat." For the rest of the trip, Mickey and Karen seemed to be everywhere. Wherever we went, they followed. Suddenly, I thought, did they steal my travel plan that I posted on WeChat? Taylor asked, "Should we change the plan then? Give me half an hour and I'll make another one." No need. If anyone was changing, it should be them. On the third day, we went to climb a snowy mountain. As I came out of the restroom, I ran into Karen. I hadn't intended to bother with her, but she came up to provoke me, glancing at Mickey nearby. Guess who he cares about more, you or me? Crazy. Before I could react, Karen suddenly threw herself to the ground in front of me, covering her face and crying, "Miss Virginia, can't you just leave me alone?" Taylor snapped his head around and rushed to me, even faster than Mickey. Mickey helped Karen up, then looked at me coldly. "Virginia, do you really want to drive her to death?" I stepped forward, raised my hand, and slapped Karen right in front of Mickey. I asked, "Does it hurt? Do you want to kill yourself now?" Karen was stunned, clutching her face, unable to respond for a moment. I then asked Mickey, "Do you see her dead yet?" In the silence, Taylor pulled my hand up and blew on it, asking if it hurt. Mickey glanced at my hand, his expression even colder. "No matter what, she's still a patient. Virginia, you should go easier on her." I suddenly realized something. A man like Mickey didn't necessarily fail to see through Karen's little tricks. He just didn't care. He enjoyed Karen's petty schemes to win his favor. Thinking they were harmless, he might even want to use them to force me to bow my head. He was telling me that a girl like Karen, who catered to his every whim, was the one who could please him, and someone like me, who always opposed him, deserved punishment. Maybe Mickey had already had enough of my strength. He'd been tolerating it all along, until Karen gave him the thrill of everything going his way. But he still looked down on Karen, so he wanted to reshape me, force me to admit fault, to apologize. Then, step by step, he could chip away at me, molding me into what he wanted. What patient is she supposed to be? Taylor, eyes down, swiped twice on his phone and said flatly, "If a tendency toward depression counts as a disease, then President Mickey, you should be diagnosed far more severely than her. A tendency toward depression is not the same as depression." Karen's diagnosis posted on Instagram stated it clearly, tendency toward depression. Taylor held out his phone to Mickey, posting that on Instagram during a relationship, while letting your friend provoke her. Who's the real bully here? What Taylor showed him was a screenshot of the comment under Karen's dress post on Instagram, the one where her friend tagged me. He had even saved it. Can you stop dumping all the blame on our Virginia? Do we even need to explain whether this is homewrecker behavior? President Mickey, at that time you were still Virginia's boyfriend, right? When others bully her, fine. But how could you stand with them and bully her too? What, just because Virginia doesn't cry, she deserves to be mistreated? You keep demanding apologies from her, but until now, has anyone ever apologized to her? Wasn't she the victim? Since when does some random nobody flashing a bullshit doctor's note for tendency toward depression mean our Virginia should be condemned as guilty? President Mickey, if you can't be a good boyfriend, can't you at least disappear like a decent ex? Mickey stayed silent for a long moment, unwilling to let Taylor have the upper hand, before asking in a low voice, "And who are you to lecture me? Who exactly are you to her?" I cut in before Taylor could answer, "Current boyfriend." Taylor's eyes lit up. Like an eager puppy, he quickly reached for my hand. Mickey stared at me, blank-faced. "But weren't we just on a Cold War?" "Mickey, I told you twice we're over. Are you deaf? Or did you just never take my words seriously?" Mickey's eyes reddened. He took a step forward, trying to grab me. I didn't agree. Taylor blocked him, but I agreed. Mickey raised his fist to hit him. Get out of my way. Taylor dodged to the side and landed a punch that sent Mickey to the ground. In a low voice, he muttered, I've been wanting to hit you for a long time. I had no interest in wasting time with an idiot, so I pulled Taylor away. Karen, crying, tried to help Mickey up. Brother, are you okay? Mickey shoved her away and cursed. Get lost. You too. Get lost. Karen cried even harder, wailing in disbelief. Brother. Chapter 10. After Labor Day, Mickey cut off his financial support for Karen and started avoiding her. Karen came to me, cursing like a madwoman. Mickey's ignoring me now. Are you satisfied? I just wanted someone to rely on. Is that wrong? You already live such a good life. Why do you still have to make things hard for me? Why can you have everything through Mickey, and I can't? What makes me less than you? After the outburst, she covered her face and cried, Virginia, Miss Virginia, we both came from the mountains. Please pity me. Give Mickey back to me. You already have so many men. You won't miss this one. For the first time, I really looked at Karen. Small, vigorous, calculating, ambitious. But she had chosen the wrong path. Coming out of the mountains wasn't easy. Everything I have now, not a single piece of it came from Mickey. In the beginning after graduation, I did borrow his strength, but for us to last 3 years together, we must have been evenly matched. Sister, men are shrewd. If he looks down on you, he can throw you away anytime, just like he's doing to you now. You can rely on many things, money, ability, even beauty. The only thing you cannot rely on is a man. You can use them, but never depend on them. Treat them as tools, not as a way out. Karen just sat there on the ground, stunned. I walked away, and she still hadn't gotten up. Mickey came looking for me several times, but I refused to see him. He even changed his phone number to text me, saying he knew he was wrong, saying it was all Karen deceiving him, saying he had cut off Karen completely, would never see her again, saying that nothing inappropriate had ever happened between them, begging me to come back, begging me to give him another chance. Later, one of Mickey's friends called me, sis-in-law. Mickey's been drunk 3 nights in a row. If he keeps drinking like this, it'll kill him. He's a bastard. But he's been punished too. Can't you forgive him? Another chimed in, yeah. Mickey loves you so much. Isn't this enough? Do you really have to break up for good? Sis-in-law, Mickey keeps calling your name. Come and get him, please. I was half asleep, not wanting to talk, so I handed the phone to Taylor. Taylor said, sorry, my girlfriend's asleep. Could this wait until tomorrow? If it's urgent, I can go pick up Boss Mickey myself. There was silence for a moment. And who are you? Taylor, Virginia's boyfriend. The line went dead instantly. The next time I saw Mickey was at a dinner banquet. He looked much thinner, with dark circles under his eyes, and his spirit seemed broken. He had perfected the image of a heartbroken man. Mickey blocked me outside the restroom. He said, I didn't cheat, Virginia. You were the one who fell out of love first. The one who betrayed me first. Cheating isn't only about doing it. I tossed the used paper towel into the trash. Mickey, you know me. I'm a clean freak. When something's dirty, I throw it away without hesitation. Mickey opened his mouth, face pale, then lowered his gaze and let out a bitter smile. I messed it up, Virginia. I really know I was wrong. I'll listen to you from now on. Do I still have a chance? That red dress. Remember? I looked at Mickey as I lit a slim cigarette. I really liked it before, but after Karen took it off, I didn't even glance at it before tossing it aside. You're the same as that dress. Once someone else has worn it, to me it becomes trash. Have you ever seen me pick up trash? I had nowhere to tap the ash, so Mickey held out his hand. I tossed the half-smoked cigarette into it. By then, with Mickey's sense of dignity, he could no longer pester me. As I turned to leave, Mickey said, Is Taylor really better than me? Not necessarily, but I want him in his cleanest stage. I didn't stop walking. On the table sat a birthday cake. A room full of unfamiliar young people stared curiously at me. Mickey shouted bitterly, "Virginia, all men are the same. Give it time and you'll see. I'll wait for you. Wait until you come back." I didn't look back. I will always keep moving forward. I can love deeply, but I can also let go. I am unstoppable, neither weak nor afraid. I will shine brilliantly no matter who is by my side, and that has nothing to do with any man. Story 2. Leo's lover demanded that he marry her. Not only did he refuse, but he also handed her some money to dismiss her. The young lover broke down in tears. "Didn't you say you loved me? Didn't you say you'd lost all feelings for that old woman at home?" Leo looked down at her, his eyes indifferent. "I can share romance with you," he said coolly, "but the one I'll spend my everyday life with, dealing with bread and butter, will always be Elena." Chapter 1. When Diana called me, her voice trembled slightly, as if she was trying to stay calm. "Elena, I think Eric is cheating." "What happened?" "I saw him taking a girl to the hospital for an abortion." I was stunned when I heard this. Eric nearly risked his life to mend things with Diana and win her back. Now that they'd finally managed to rebuild their relationship, he cheated? But Diana's words didn't sound like a lie. She sent me the photos she had taken. Eric's face was slightly blurred, but his silhouette was still recognizable at a glance. As for the girl, she was crystal clear, long black hair, a delicate, doll-like face that was a little pale but still attractive. I glanced briefly, intending to close it. Then I froze. After a few seconds, I slowly zoomed in on the photo. "Diana, yeah? Don't panic just yet. The one cheating might not be Eric." "What are you talking about?" "It's probably Leo who's cheating." Chapter 2. At 8 in the evening, Leo returned with our son, Lucas. As soon as the little guy saw me, he dashed into my arms. "Mommy, I have a special prize from calligraphy class that I want to give to you." "Really? What is it?" "It's this." He opened his little hand to reveal a ring, a toy ring girls use to dress up dolls, pink with a tiny flower on it. "Oh, how beautiful. Thank you, Lucas." I slipped the ring onto my pinky, and he looked so proud. Leo stood nearby, watching us with a gentle smile. He held onto it so tightly the whole way home, afraid he'd drop it. Biological mom's different, I guess. I pick him up every day. He never treats me this way, because mommy's the boss of the family. Lucas chimed in. Leo chuckled. "All right, you stay here with mommy and be good. Daddy has to head out now." He looked over at me as he spoke. "I'll be back late tonight. Don't wait up." I nodded. "Drive safely." "Oh, by the way, Diana called earlier. She can't get in touch with Eric. Do you know where he went?" "Eric? Did Diana need him for something?" I chuckled softly. "What are you saying? A wife looking for her husband, isn't that just natural?" Leo's Adam's apple moved slightly. "That's not what I meant. Eric went to pick someone up for me at the airport." "Who?" "A client. I'm heading over there to entertain them." I nodded. "All right, but have Eric call Diana back. Don't let her worry." "Got it." Leo leaned in, intending to kiss me. I dodged. "The child is right here." He looked slightly exasperated. "All right, I'm off then." The door closed, and my face fell. Leo covered his tracks well, showing no signs of unusual behavior from start to finish. But he should never have, under any circumstances, tried to kiss me before leaving. A farewell kiss like this, something we hadn't done in nearly 5 years. When something is out of the ordinary, there's usually a reason. And then there was that girl. I was certain I'd seen her before, a year ago, at our house. It was summer break, and I was staying with Lucas at my parents' home. Lucas suddenly developed a fever late at night. I called Leo, but there was no answer. So I drove Lucas to the hospital myself. Blood tests, 4 fluids, observation. By the time Lucas's fever subsided, it was 5 in the morning. Exhausted, I went straight back home. After putting Lucas in his room, I headed to the master bedroom. The person in bed seemed to wake up at the sound of the door opening. She turned on the light and mumbled, "Boss, Why are you back so early today? The light came on, and our eyes met. My face darkened, and she covered her mouth, screaming. Leo arrived after the police. She'd called them, claiming there was a trespasser. She'd called Leo, too, sobbing that she'd been frightened. Once Leo dismissed the police, I reached into his pocket and took his phone. Leo tried to stop me, but my icy glare held him back. Handle your own mess. If you wake Lucas, you'll have me to deal with. In the child's room, I sat by Lucas's bed. He slept soundly, blissfully unaffected. The house's soundproofing was excellent, but I could still hear her pitiful sobs. As her crying continued, I unlocked Leo's phone. The call log showed a recent incoming call with a straightforward label, Lisa. I found their chat with her number. Their last exchange was last night. Lisa, boss. I'm so scared. Leo, stop it. Lisa, how am I acting up? I'm really scared, boss. Can't you come stay with me? Leave after I fall asleep. You're really bold. Hee hee, boss. You're the best. Stay with me, please. Do you even know what you're saying? Of course I do. And I mean every word. Go to sleep. All right. All right. But tomorrow morning, I want a custard bun bought by you, boss. I looked at the time. At that same moment, he was also messaging me. He asked if Lucas was asleep, when I'd be home, and told me he missed me. Scrolling up, the content was more or less the same. It was always Lisa, teasing Leo before going to sleep. Leo didn't respond much, almost like he was just humoring her, but he replied to every message. This kind of exchange had been going on for 4 days. 4 days ago, Leo had said, "All right, I'll take care of your accommodations." Lisa, you really are the most troublesome person I've ever met. Chapter 3. What had Leo said that time? He said, she's a new intern at the company. She hasn't found a place to rent yet. I can't just leave her hanging. She's a young girl, just starting out in the world. Staying alone in a hotel isn't safe. There's nothing between us. I've been staying at a hotel these past few days. If you don't believe me, we can check the security cameras. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd be upset. All those things she said, she talks nonsense. That's just her personality. Carefree, without any filter. She's just a kid. Don't let it bother you. After that, I gave him the cold shoulder for a week. It finally ended when Leo fired Lisa and promised not to contact her again. He deleted all her contact information in front of me, one by one, and Lisa did leave the company. But now, she's pregnant. I guess Leo hid it from me because he's afraid of making me angry again. Mommy, why are you smiling? I looked at Lucas, his curious eyes on me, and gently touched his head. The bedtime story is over. Shall we go to sleep? Okay. Lucas lay down obediently. Before he fell asleep, he asked me, Mommy, when is Daddy coming back? Why do you ask? I haven't slept with Daddy in a long time. Next time, I want to sleep with him. No problem. Mommy, why does Daddy come home so late every night? Because he has to work. When Daddy isn't home, it's just you and me. It's too quiet. I don't like it. His words left a bitter feeling in my heart. Maybe it's that emotions always feel amplified at night. I patted his head softly. Go to sleep. We have to get up early tomorrow. Chapter 4. Leo, who said he'd be home late, didn't come back at all that night. I barely slept. I felt like I was asleep and awake all at once. In the morning, the alarm pulled me up, leaving me groggy and heavy-headed. But I pushed myself to take Lucas to school. Then I dialed Diana's number. Eric got home at 9. His excuse was the same as Leo's. I murmured in agreement. This was probably their little routine. You saw them at Central Hospital yesterday, right? What are you planning? I'm going to meet the girl. Do you want me to come with you? A warmth spread through me, but I declined. Diana was silent for a few seconds. Elena, what are you going to do? Divorce. But I want to get some evidence of his cheating before the divorce. And that girl? Do you think she'll help? It doesn't matter whether she helps or not. This marriage is ending. The difference is just how fast and how much I can secure in the settlement. Elena, Diana's voice was filled with apology. I'm sorry. I laughed softly. It's not your fault. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Leo and I were going to divorce. Sooner or later. After hanging up, I received a video call from Leo. He looked exhausted. I drank too much last night and didn't want to disturb you and Lucas. So I didn't come back. You're not mad, right? Are you at home? Yeah. I'm really tired. I'm going to get some sleep. When are you coming back? I want to hold you while I sleep. I still have things to do. You go ahead and rest. Leo seemed disappointed. All right then. Come back soon. I murmured in agreement and hung up, rolling down the car window. I let the rush of wind wash over me, pressing down the nausea rising from deep within. Leo, the loving husband and doting father. It's practically everyone's perception of him. He spends time with Lucas, plays with him, helps him with homework, and puts him to bed. I'm not the best driver. If it rains, no matter how busy he is, he'll make time to come pick up Lucas from school. He attends Lucas's parent-teacher conferences, takes him to his extracurricular activities. He bought a cookbook and, when he has a free moment, makes breakfast for Lucas. Sometimes, when I'm busy, he even brings Lucas to the office. As for me, he answers my calls without delay. If I'm hungry, even if he's entertaining clients, he'll bring food to me first. He'll take me on dates while Lucas is at school. On Valentine's Day, he'll send me roses. Leo's friends often tease him, "Why are you like this? Setting such high standards is killing the rest of us." Their partners envy me. Leo's so good to you and Lucas. I've never seen anyone dote on his wife this much. Every time I hear this, I just smile. Life is full of disappointments. Only a few are worth sharing. The Leo everyone sees now has only existed for the past 2 years. And this year marks our 8th year together. Chapter 5. Lisa, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Finding her didn't take much effort. When I pushed open the door to the VIP room, she was holding her phone, her eyes brimming with tears. I knocked lightly on the door and, meeting her gaze, spoke. "Can we talk?" Lisa's face went blank for a few seconds. She instinctively stepped back. "Who are you? I don't know you." I smiled lightly as I walked in. "Don't be alarmed. I'm not here to yell or hit you, just to talk." My reassurance didn't help. Her trembling hand pressed the call button. "Get out! I don't know you." Ignoring her resistance, I sat down beside her bed. "You haven't had the procedure yet, have you? Do you want to keep this baby? Right now, I'm probably the only one who can help you. Are you sure you don't want to talk?" Lisa hesitated. After a long silence, a nurse opened the door. "Is everything all right? Do you need anything?" Lisa looked up as if she'd made up her mind. "No, I pressed the wrong button by accident." The nurse left, and Lisa stared at me without blinking. "Why do you want to help me?" "I wouldn't call it helping you, more like a mutual benefit. You give me the evidence of Leo's infidelity, and I'll speed up the divorce process. I'll try to make sure his father is single again before your baby is born. How does that sound?" I wasn't sure if the information was too much, but Lisa was stunned for a moment before laughing bitterly. "So, that's why you're being so kind. You're really here for what I have. Why should I give it to you?" I frowned. "Don't you want me to divorce Leo?" Lisa pressed her lips together tightly, glaring at me. "If you don't give me the evidence, how can I get a divorce? And if I give it to you, what if you don't go through with it?" I chuckled. "Not go through with it? Why would I want the evidence, just to admire it myself? What if you plan to use it to blackmail Leo?" I was speechless for a moment. "Think, girl, I already know he's cheating and that you're carrying his child. Why would I need anything else to threaten him? Anyway, I'm not giving it to you." "Fine." I stood up. "Then keep it. I'll just take a year or 2 to go through a long divorce case. I can afford to wait." My gaze dropped to her belly. "I just wonder if your baby can afford to wait." "Stop right there." Lisa's face turned red. "Why would it take 1 or 2 years? If you're already set on divorcing him, why drag it out for so long?" "Because your dear Leo doesn't want to." I looked at her with a faint smile. "Why do you think that even though you're pregnant, He hasn't divorced me to marry you and instead wants you to get rid of the baby? It's because he doesn't want a divorce. That's not true. Lisa nearly screamed. He loves me. He wants me. He's told me himself that all he feels for you is responsibility. He just doesn't want to hurt you. A man who's already cheated on his wife. And you still believe in his moral integrity? Here's a suggestion, try pressuring him to marry you and see what he does. I left my contact information with Lisa. When I returned home, Leo was still asleep. He didn't wake up until 1 in the afternoon. He wandered into the study, trying, as usual, to lean in and kiss me. I pushed him away. Stop messing around. I'm busy, I said. He, still sleepy, pretended to sigh in disappointment. You've changed. You didn't used to be like this. I looked at him. I really couldn't understand how someone could pretend so convincingly. What's wrong? He asked, looking concerned. I shook my head. It's nothing. Go freshen up. Leo gave a doubtful then slowly turned and walked away. After washing up, he came back dressed and ready. I have something to do tonight, so I won't be home for dinner. All right. So, I'm leaving? Yes. Chapter 6. Someone once asked Leo, if there were no Elena, what do you think your life would be like? Leo was silent for a moment. I'd probably be in prison. Many people say, never help a boy grow up. I did. In high school, after his parents' divorce, he became rebellious, skipping class, avoiding school, every day. I would wait for him in the hallway, my backpack slung over my shoulder. I'd wait to share the day's assignments and notes with him. He found me annoying. I'm tired. Can't you leave? Who do you think you are to be bossing me around? You're not leaving? Fine. Then I will. We stayed at odds for a long time. Then, one day, he stuffed a fruit knife into his bag. When he charged toward a group of troublemakers, I ran out and held him back, gripping that knife with my hand. The knife was dull, but it left a deep scar on my palm. Even now, the scar remains. Leo once held my hand and promised to be good to me for a lifetime. But now, just a door away, he was urging his lover to get rid of their child. Lisa was crying. Let's get married. You can divorce her and marry me, okay? Leo was silent for a few seconds. Don't overthink. Just be good, and we'll keep things as they were. But didn't you say you loved me? You said you were over that old nag at home. Lisa, stop it. I already scheduled the procedure for tomorrow. The longer you delay, the worse it is for your body. I don't want to. Lisa yelled. This is our child. How can you be so heartless? Leo, please, marry me. Since you don't care about her anymore, then divorce her, and the three of us can be together. Leo, this is our child. Let's keep it. Please. Leo, say something. If you don't agree, I'll go to her myself. To whom? Leo's voice turned cold. Lisa, you're taking this too far. Lisa seemed frightened and began to sob, choking on her tears. Leo spoke coldly. After the procedure, I'll give you $2 million and help you settle elsewhere. As long as you cooperate, your future work and marriage won't be affected. Lisa, you don't necessarily need surgery to lose a child. His words sent a chill through me, but Lisa's reaction was nothing but agitation. She demanded, why? You're the one who said you loved me. Who said you felt nothing for her? Why can't you leave her and be with me? Lisa, I can enjoy romance with you, but the one I'll share my everyday life with, the one for all the routines and responsibilities, can only be Elena. Chapter 7. Lisa called me at 7. Leo, who had originally said he wouldn't be home for dinner, came back unexpectedly. He picked up Lucas, then helped him with his homework. After dinner, he took him outside to play basketball. I could see how happy Lucas was, standing by the floor-to-ceiling window. I watched as Lucas dribbled past Leo and took a shot he missed. Leo patted him on the head, as if comforting him. On the phone, Lisa said, I've given you everything you asked for, but you have to promise me that you'll divorce him. I was somewhat incredulous. You still want to be with him? After everything Leo had said to her, Lisa grew agitated instantly. I don't believe it. He just can't let go of his sense of responsibility. He loves me. Once he's divorced, he'll definitely be with me. Fine. Good luck with that. I hung up and accepted Lisa's friend request. The next second, photos and videos started pouring in. I opened one at random. In the photo, Lisa was gently biting Leo's lip as he looked downward, seemingly reluctant. In the next one, she was straddling his lap, facing the camera with a peace sign. Then, a solo shot of Leo lying asleep in bed, the blanket pulled up to his chest, his bare shoulder exposed. I wanted to scroll further, but my hand suddenly weakened, and the phone slipped from my grasp, landing on the floor with a loud thud. I stared down at the cracked screen for a moment, then I slowly bent down to pick it up. Chapter 8. I should never have married Leo. This thought first crossed my mind when I was pregnant. Back then, he was busy with his startup, busy making money, and constantly traveling across the country. I understood him. I lived alone, attended my checkups alone. I saved on everything. I endured it all. My breaking point came one time when he returned from a business trip. That night, he was driving on the highway, and I was worried. I stayed up, waiting for him to text me that he'd arrived safely and would be home soon. I waited and waited, and finally, an hour after he got off the highway, I saw a message, a group message, in our friend's chat. He wrote, "I made it, at the usual place. Anyone who's free, come over, drink on me." He'd arrived, but he hadn't texted me or come home first. I called, my hands shaking, ready to confront him. I asked him why. After Leo's parents divorced, they barely cared for him. He used to say, if I died one day, no one would even notice. I'd tell him, no, at least he had me. So even when things were tense between us, I'd always call if he didn't come home. I was scared something would happen to him and no one would know. I was worried about you. I didn't even dare call, afraid I'd distract you while driving. And you didn't even bother to tell me you'd arrived safely. He said he forgot. He remembered to send a message to his friends, but forgot to let his wife know. What a joke! He stayed silent when I called him out. Then he hung up, and he blocked me and erased me from all his contacts. I was 5 months pregnant then. Since I'd had a high-risk pregnancy, I'd quit my job and stayed home, to avoid worrying my parents. I was living alone. I went through moments of crisis, wondering if I was depressed. I complained, but I gritted my teeth and kept going. I thought I could rely on him, but the outside world was too appealing, and the quiet life at home seemed to be a small, insignificant part of his life. I grew to resent it. So, I asked him for a divorce. It was the first time I'd asked. Chapter 9. Leo left Lucas's room at 9:40 after putting him to bed. Leaning against the desk, he looked at me with a smile and asked, "Are you hungry? Should we order something to eat?" Leo, yes. Let's get a divorce. This was the third time I'd asked for a divorce. The first time I brought it up, he was furious, and looking coldly at my belly, he said, "A divorce? Fine. But we got rid of the baby first." The second time, he stayed silent and took me to the civil registry that same day. This third time, he looked at me with a resigned smile. What did I do wrong now? Tell me, and I'll change. In the past 2 years, Leo had changed. His treatment of me had grown more patient. If I was angry or upset, he didn't storm out or block me from his contacts. He always had the patience to talk until things were clear. What a perfect husband. But, Leo, I know you cheated on me. The other woman is Lisa, and she's carrying your child. I pushed my phone in front of him, showing him a photo of them kissing at the top of the Ferris wheel. I think this photo is the most ironic of all. Same place, same spot, he'd kissed me there, too. His love was like something produced on an assembly line. Leo's face darkened at the sight of the photo. She contacted you? No. I reached out to her. I asked her for all the photos and videos. Leo clenched his fists, taking a deep breath. Elena, she won't come between us. I'll send her away, and this child won't be kept. No, I suggest you keep it. Leo froze, because after the divorce, I'm taking Lucas with me. Leo's expression turned grim. He turned to walk out but stopped after a few steps, then came back to lean on the desk in front of me again. Elena, I won't make excuses. It's my fault. I'm just asking for one more chance. Whatever you want, I'll do, as long as we don't get divorced. Leo, don't do this. I didn't get Lisa's evidence to confirm your affair. I wanted to show you that if you don't cooperate in ending this marriage honestly, I can't guarantee what I might do with these things. Elena, don't call my name. Let's stick to the facts. We're not talking about emotions here. Let's sit down and discuss the division of assets, custody, and child support. That's it. Consider this my plea to you. I only wanted to handle this as quickly and rationally as possible. Otherwise, it would affect my life and work. My son is asleep in the other room. Even if I'm at my breaking point, I can't scream or cry. My son still has to go to school, and unless the world ends, I have to make sure I'm up by 7 in the morning, and I have deadlines for my illustrations. I need to finish them within the next 2 days. Leo, I don't think there's any point in discussing emotions at this stage. Dragging things out will only make everything uglier, and Lucas is the one who'll suffer if it does. If you truly believe you've made a mistake, then let me go. Let's get divorced. I was resolute about the divorce. Leo was equally adamant about refusing it. When the conversation went nowhere, I grew cold. I can't leave with Lucas so easily. You need to move out. When you're ready to agree to the divorce, we can discuss who keeps the house. Leo looked at me in defeat. But, Elena, where can I go? The same line again. So many times, when I'd been disappointed, hurt, and heartbroken, I softened because of that line. He'd say he didn't have a home, and I would say, then I'll give you one. As long as I'm here, you'll have a home. I kept my promise. I was afraid he'd feel even a hint less cared for, afraid he'd feel hurt or sad because of it, even though he was the first to break his promises. And now he dares to come for my heart. Chapter 10. In the morning, when the alarm went off, I called Lucas to get up. The master bedroom door opened too, and Leo rubbed his forehead. I'll take Lucas to school. I glanced at him. Fine. After dropping Lucas off, Leo brought me a bowl of wontons. What do you want for lunch? I can go grocery shopping. I ignored him, took the wontons into the study, and shut the door behind me. Leo stood there, watching me until the door clicked closed. I heard him walk away. Around 11, sounds came from the kitchen. At 12:30, he knocked on the door. Are you hungry? I made lunch. Come out and have some. I shut my eyes in irritation. When I opened the door, I almost bumped into Leo, who was standing right outside. He gave me a tentative smile. I bought some fresh okra today. And also, before he could finish, I brushed past him, grabbed my keys, and headed out. This routine of his was predictable. Whenever he made a mistake, he'd stay close by, walking on eggshells, barely leaving the house. He'd keep it up until I calmed down. Then he'd revert to his old ways. I used to fall for it, then tried not to care. And now, it just annoys me. I drove around until 4:30 before coming back. At 4, Leo had texted me, I'll pick up Lucas from school. When I got home, Lucas was doing his homework. Mom, you're finally back. Dad said he'll make tricolor rice balls for dinner. Where did you go? Mom? Dad said he made you mad. Will you forgive him? He knows he was wrong. I smiled, ruffling his hair. Hurry and finish your homework. I got Yangmei. You can have some when you're done. Yay. 3 days. Leo stuck to me like this for 3 whole days. Cooking, washing, cleaning, bringing me tea, trying to talk to me gently. His phone rang many times, and so did mine. Lisa was nearing her breaking point. Not being able to reach Leo, she sent me one 60-second voice message after another. I listened to one of them. Are you backing out? Let me tell you something, Elena, if you dare deceive me, this won't end well for you. I love Leo. I'll keep his child. And if you're lying to me, I won't forgive you. I listened to this message with Leo right there, and I replied in front of him, too. Don't worry, that thing you're treasuring? Right now, I just want to throw it away. Leo stared at me in silence for a long time. Finally, He forced a smile, placing the sliced mango in front of me. The third day, Friday, after Lucas got out of school, I asked him, "Do you want to spend the weekend at your grandparents'?" His eyes lit up. "Of course," Leo said. "I'll take him over." "No need. I'll take him. You stay home and wait for me." Chapter 11. I took Lucas to my parents' house. I told him to be good, and I'd pick him up on Sunday. My parents didn't notice anything unusual. They just asked if I'd come over for dinner over the weekend. "No. I'll be working on some projects." "All right. Just take care of yourself." I returned home about an hour later. As soon as I opened the door, I smelled heavy cigarette smoke. Leo was sitting on the couch, head hanging, his expression unreadable. I placed the freshly printed divorce papers on the coffee table. "Because of your affair, I'll take 80% of our shared assets and custody of Lucas. You can decide the amount of child support. Go over it at your own pace. And if you disagree with anything, we can discuss adjustments. Does it have to be this way?" "What else?" Leo let out a deep sigh. He crumpled up the divorce papers and tossed them into the trash. "I won't divorce you." "Fine. Then next time, what I'll be handing you is a court summons. And as for the evidence of your affair, I'll make sure each of your friends and clients gets a copy." Leo's head shot up. Over the last 3 days, he had grown weary, his eyes bloodshot. "I admit, I made a terrible mistake. But Elena, I never intended to divorce you. For Lucas's sake, can't you give me a chance to make things right?" I shut my eyes, feeling the urge to block out his voice. "You've always said you wanted a daughter someday. Leo, tell me, if your daughter's husband treated her the way you've treated me, what would you say to her? Would you tell her it's okay? That it's just an affair? That she should forgive him and give him another chance?" "Leo, let's be honest. If it were me, if I'd been the one sleeping with someone else 100 times over, would you be giving me another chance?" I gave Leo the night to think it over. He stayed on the couch all night. By dawn, he spoke in a hoarse voice. "All right, we'll divorce." Leo spent the day moving out all of his things. Before he left, he asked me, "How are you going to explain this to Lucas?" I knew what he was truly asking, so I said, "How I tell Lucas depends on your attitude." I didn't want to tell our son, so young, that his father had cheated. But if Leo tried to shift the blame for the divorce onto me, I wouldn't mind giving my son a lesson he'd never forget. Leo looked at me. "You didn't used to be like this." "Like this? How?" He sneered. "You don't seem the least bit sad." I said nothing. Leo didn't speak again either. He turned and walked toward the elevator. "Leo, I was at my saddest when I loved you the most." Chapter 12. How long can promises of eternal love last? At first, I thought it was forever. Then I thought, maybe 3 to 5 years. In the end, I realized it might only last a single moment. The year we finished high school, Leo didn't get into the same university as me. He didn't go to college at all. Instead, he followed others into business. And so, we went our separate ways. I thought that was the end of our story. But in the year I graduated, he came back. "Will you be with me? I know you're single. I know you stayed single all 4 years. So did I. If you say no, that's okay. But of all the people pursuing you, could I at least have a little priority?" He told me that even though we hadn't seen each other in 4 years, he still came to see me every year. I had nothing, and I didn't dare to come to you. He said he fought with everything he had, just to stand in front of me sooner. He was afraid that if he came too late, it'd be too late forever. Thank goodness, I wasn't too late. At that time, I truly believed we'd be together forever. I didn't plan to hide the news of my divorce from anyone. Not that I could. When I went to pick up Lucas, while he was watching cartoons, I told my parents. They stayed silent for a long time. My father stood up first. "Well, then, get the divorce. As long as we're here, you and Lucas won't go hungry." I tried to laugh, but my nose stung, and I quickly lowered my head. My mother sighed. "Just remember, he's still Lucas's biological father. Only he can really do what's best for Lucas. No other man could replace a real father." "I know," She had said the same thing the second time I mentioned divorce. She told me that love didn't matter all that much. In the end, marriage is just two people joining forces to get through life. Don't care so much about him. If he can earn money for the family and help raise the kids, that's enough. And so, for the 2 years after that second talk of divorce, I treated Leo like a tool, someone to fulfill a role, but he couldn't even manage to fulfill the role of a support. I took Lucas home. As we lay in bed, I said to him, "Mom has something to tell you." "What is it?" "Mom and Dad have divorced." Lucas looked at me with his big eyes. He didn't say anything for a long time, but after I called his name again, he started to cry. It wasn't a loud cry. He just pouted, his eyes filling with tears. "Lucas, what's wrong?" Then, he began to cry harder. "I don't want Dad to leave." Lucas's reaction was so intense it scared me. I had no choice but to call Leo and ask him to come over. Before he arrived, I warned him, "Don't promise him that Mom and Dad won't separate. Just tell him that even though we're divorced, you're still his dad." After Leo calmed Lucas down, he came out to the balcony, where I stood expressionless. "Elena!" I turned around and looked at him coldly. "The second time I asked for a divorce, did you think you fixed everything by talking me down? That time, I was staying with Lucas at my parents' house. You came every day, playing with Lucas, laughing with him. One day, you had to leave early for work. Lucas, with his little toy cart, waited by the elevator and wouldn't go inside, no matter who called him. I asked him what was wrong, and he said he missed his dad. That year, he was 4. It was the first time he told me he missed you. So I changed my mind. I thought that as long as you didn't make a serious mistake, we could keep going like this. But you couldn't even manage that. Leo, I have never felt so disappointed in anyone. Chapter 13. On Monday, Leo and I went to the civil registry to make the divorce official. In the weeks that followed, Leo would pick up Lucas from school every day, bring him home, and then say goodbye. On the weekends, he would sometimes spend a half day or a whole day taking him out to play. We were doing our best to show him that the divorce was an issue between Mom and Dad and wouldn't affect him. Dad was still his dad, and he wouldn't be loved any less. Lucas still occasionally showed signs of sadness, but I knew he'd come to accept it in time. Just like one day, he'd inevitably grow up. Leo wasn't doing well. I heard some rumors. Apparently, the mistress had shown up at his office, demanding marriage. There had been a confrontation, and during a struggle, she fell. In the end, Lisa couldn't keep the child she was carrying. This broke her completely. In the end, he had to taste the consequences of his own actions. He no longer had as much time and could only call me to say he was sorry he wouldn't be able to be there for Lucas. I chuckled. "It's fine. Before I asked for the divorce, you didn't spend any more time with Lucas than you do now." In the past 2 years, when everyone praised Leo, he genuinely thought he was doing a great job. But to me, it all seemed rather pointless. For most people, once they're done with things outside, they come home. Leo, once he's done with things at home, he goes back out. Yes, he was always there when I called. Whatever I asked him to do, he would do, but that was all. If I didn't ask, he wouldn't do a thing beyond the bare minimum. Everything felt like a task, but that was okay. Tasks were fine, as long as they were completed. It was enough. After all, how much can you expect from a tool? Chapter 14. The 1-month cooling-off period for the divorce passed quickly. The night before, I sent Leo a message, reminding him to be on time. In the morning we were set to leave. I called to remind him again. He was silent for a long while. "Don't worry, I won't bail." When I finally received the divorce certificate, I felt a genuine smile form on my face. The shadow weighing on my heart lifted, and I felt lighter. I turned and walked away without looking back. I didn't know that Leo watched me for a long time as I walked away, nor did I know that after I left, he doubled over, tears falling as he clenched his side. A passerby asked him if he was okay. He said it hurt. Where did it hurt? Everywhere. Seeing Elena smile like that, he remembered the carefree girl from high school, the one who had thrown herself into his life without hesitation. And now, he had lost her. Epilogue. Chapter 1. Lisa and Leo kept going back and forth for a long time. Leo was divorced. They could be together, even have a child again. Why not? There were no obstacles anymore. But Leo ignored her. Even when she stood naked in front of him, he didn't give her a second glance. Instead, he smoked in silence, saying, "You're talking to me about love? Weren't you with me because of money in the first place?" At that moment, it was as if Lisa had been slapped. Was it really just for money? No, it wasn't. Leo was attractive and steady, a tall, capable man who made young, impressionable Lisa want to possess him. At first, she was just teasing him, and Leo didn't refuse. Sensing her chance, she pursued him even more boldly. But Leo's attitude remained vague. So one night, taking advantage of his drunkenness, Lisa climbed into his bed. Afterward, Leo gave her some money, said to pretend it had never happened. Lisa found it laughable. Once it happens, it doesn't just stop. Men who get a taste are like starving wolves. And so, Lisa and Leo ended up tangled together. Lisa always believed that she and Leo had simply met too late. If it hadn't been that way, Elena would never have been part of the story. She never thought that if she were placed on a scale with Elena, Leo would choose Elena without hesitation. Divorced. Leo seemed like he had lost his soul. Through tears, Lisa asked him why he was treating her this way. In the midst of the struggle, Lisa accidentally ripped off the safety talisman hanging from the rearview mirror. Without thinking, Leo slapped her. His eyes were filled with rage as he shouted, "Get out!" The talisman broke, and its tassel fell to the floor. With trembling hands, Leo reached down to pick it up. A piercing, needle-like pain stabbed at his heart again. His face went pale, his jaw clenched tightly, and he tasted blood in his mouth. That talisman had been embroidered by Elena. She made it when she was pregnant, stitching it carefully, one thread at a time. She had told him that since he traveled so often for work, she worried about him. So, she had gone to the temple to request a protective charm and sewed it into the talisman. "It's just a little peace of mind," she had said. "Since I can't be with you all the time now, I'll pray to the gods for you." Leo had changed cars many times, but he always kept that talisman. Why did he keep it? Why hadn't he ever replaced it? He couldn't give a clear answer. He'd simply say it was something his wife had made with love. But deep down, he knew that the talisman symbolized the Elena who loved him the most. If it were ever lost or replaced, there would never be another one. Elena would never make him another talisman, would never have more children with him, would never love him again. That talisman represented the second time Elena asked for a divorce. By now, Leo couldn't even remember what had caused it. All he remembered was being so angry that he took Elena to the civil registry. They went through the process, got a number, stood in line, and waited. Even when their turn came, Elena hadn't said a word to stop him. Then, suddenly, Leo realized something. Elena wasn't playing a game. She truly wanted the divorce. But why? He didn't understand. What had Elena said to him? She had told him, "I've already endured the hardest, most exhausting days. Why should I keep carrying this burden?" That time, Elena had said many things. She spoke of her years of silent suffering, of her struggles, of how Leo had let her down, and how her heart had already turned cold. Of course, Leo hadn't listened to any of it back then, until now. Now that he had completely lost Elena, he couldn't help but think back. Back then, due to a threatened miscarriage, Elena had quit her job. Leo had told her, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." He had always thought he was doing a good job. Everything he provided for Elena had been more than enough. But Elena would still often argue with him over money. "Can't you just offer it to me? Why do I always have to ask? I don't like begging for it. Everything I spend is necessary. Not a penny wasted." Chapter 2. Leo found it exhausting. Money. Money. It was always about money. Has he ever shorted her on money? So what if he forgot or was a few days late? Did she really need to make such a big deal? But later, during the second time she asked for a divorce, Elena said, "I'll never forget that time we went out to eat, and you were busy replying to messages. So I paid the bill. I told you I was out of money. And you looked at me suddenly and said, "Didn't I just give you 10,000? 10,000, 3 months ago." That money had to cover my prenatal checkups, nutrition, daily expenses, and everything for the house. The look in your eyes, I'll never forget it. Since Lucas was born, Elena never asked him for another penny. Actually, it wasn't until Elena started working again that Leo realized things were changing. What kind of work? She illustrated novel covers for 8 yuan each. She drew art for creative products for 10 yuan per piece. Portraits for people, 5 yuan each. She spent her time working on these small jobs whenever she wasn't caring for Lucas. Leo didn't interfere. He thought it was just a hobby of hers. But Elena said, "I'm with Lucas all day, and when he sleeps, that's when I can work. Sometimes, I make 30 to 50 yuan, maybe 70 or 80 if I'm lucky. If I earn 100 in a day, I'll be smiling in my sleep." "I didn't stop giving you money." "That's your money," Elena said. "When I earned my first 50,000 yuan, I wanted a divorce. I knew then that I could support Lucas without depending on you." Elena began to make real money when she started taking commercial commissions. In just half a year, her earnings grew from 8 yuan per drawing to 8,000. When Lucas was 3, she made her first 50,000 yuan. When he turned 4, she asked for a divorce. Was it just about the money? No, it was because only the child who cries gets the candy. Elena was too good, too compliant. She always went along with whatever Leo wanted. She never complained when he came home late, nor did she blame him for breaking promises. Leo didn't have to be there for her. He could go out drinking, playing cards, socializing, even staying out all night, and Elena would still understand. He had overheard Elena on the phone with her parents, saying, "He's on his own, without family support. It's not easy for him. I know he's not always out for work, but he's under a lot of pressure and needs to unwind. I'm not a child. I don't need him by my side every day." At first, Leo felt guilty, but over time, he got used to it, used to ignoring Elena again and again, so much so that even after they had a child, he continued the same way. Elena went from never asking anything of him to starting to voice her needs, and then, gradually, asking for nothing again. Her love rose to its peak and then slowly fell to its lowest point. Just as she said, "When I still had expectations of you, it was because I wanted to hold on to us, to keep going. But later, when I no longer had any expectations, I didn't want to continue." Elena had grown weary and disillusioned, but Leo thought their marriage had simply entered a steady phase. To him, that steadiness and comfort felt routine and bland. And that's when one affair opened a door he didn't know he wanted to enter. He never intended to divorce Elena. It was just a way to spice things up. Something recreational. In the end, the one he'd share his life with would still be Elena. But Leo didn't realize that Elena had long since stopped wanting to share her life with him.